Isla Weaver had always been drawn to forgotten places. Her weekends were spent wandering through old railway tunnels, rusted barns, and the skeletal remains of ghost towns. As a freelance photographer, her lens captured stories others left behind. But nothing prepared her for the house beneath the lake. It began with a whisper in a pub. She was in a small village in Wales called Talwyn, chasing folklore for a magazine spread. The locals had been tight-lipped, offering only rumors. But an old man named Ewan, fueled by 3 pints and nostalgia, finally spoke. "There's a house at the bottom of Ellan, he said, voice gravelly. Wasn't always underwater, mind you. Used to be the village manor. Vanished overnight, long before your cameras. Now it only comes back in the mist, when the lake goes still." Isla, intrigued, asked questions. The story was patchy, talk of a flood, an abandoned estate, a family curse. Most dismissed it as drunken folklore. But Ewan's eyes had the hollow certainty of a man who had seen too much. "They say the house watches you even now. It never truly drowned." The journey begins. The next morning, Isla packed her gear and hiked to Ellan, a remote lake framed by misty hills. The water was eerily calm, like glass. There were no boats, no birds, just silence. She walked along the muddy shore until something caught her eye. Half submerged in reeds was a stone staircase leading downward. It looked old, centuries perhaps, and absurdly out of place. She snapped a few pictures. The water shimmered strangely around it. As she adjusted her lens, a shape formed beneath the water. A roof. It was faint, but there, a triangle of slate, warped and ghostly. She stepped closer, hypnotized. Her boot slipped, and she fell with a splash into the freezing water. Darkness swallowed her. Into the deep. When Isla opened her eyes, she was dry. She lay in a hallway lined with dusty paintings. Moonlight streamed through stained glass windows. The air smelled of wet stone and forgotten memories. She stood, heart racing. This was a house. A real house. The same one that was supposedly beneath the lake. A creaking sound came from above. She climbed the staircase. Every step echoed like thunder. At the top, a hallway stretched endlessly, doors on each side. One door was slightly open, and golden light spilled out. Inside sat a woman in a crimson dress, playing a music box. Her eyes were blank, lips parted as if in a silent song. "Welcome back," the woman whispered, though Isla had never met her. "What is this place?" Isla asked. The woman turned slowly. "This is where memories go when they are abandoned." Isla backed away, slamming the door. The mirror room. Another hallway. Another room. Inside was a mirror, tall, gilded, and cracked across the center. Isla's reflection didn't match her movements. It smiled when she didn't. Then it whispered, "You are part of this now." She stumbled back, heart hammering. Her camera, still around her neck, flashed on its own. When she checked the photo, it wasn't her in the frame. It was the woman in red. Escape? She ran through endless corridors. The house shifted behind her. Rooms reformed. Stairs vanished. She screamed, but the walls ate her voice. Finally, she found a door marked exit. She burst through and plunged back into the lake. She surfaced, gasping, clutching mud and reeds. It was night. The house was gone. The staircase had vanished. Her clothes were soaked, but the camera was still strapped to her neck. She ran back to the village, trembling. But something came back. Back in her hotel room, Isla transferred the photos to her laptop. Every picture was warped. Where there had been staircases and lake beds, there were grand halls, candlelit corridors, and the crimson woman, always just in frame. One photo showed Isla asleep in one of the manor's rooms. She had never taken it. Then came a new email. Isla Weaver didn't sleep that night. The images haunted her. Not just the strange photos of the submerged house, but the email. No sender, no reply address. Just 5 terrifying words. "We're not finished yet. Come home." She wanted to delete it, erase the photos, and forget everything. But the curiosity that led her to old ruins and ghost towns was louder than fear. And somewhere deep inside, a whisper told her, "This isn't over." And it never was. The Whispering Lens. Isla stayed in Talwyn another night. At dawn, she returned to the lake. This time, the fog was so thick she could barely see a few feet ahead. But the lake had changed. The shoreline was gone, just black water surrounding her. And then, as if summoned, the staircase rose from the water again, slick with moss. This time, she didn't hesitate. She descended. With each step, water licked her ankles, then her knees, until she wasn't in water at all. She was inside the house again. The house awakens. But this time, the house was alive. Chandeliers swung overhead though there was no wind. Walls whispered her name. Portraits turned to follow her. It was as though the house had been waiting. She explored carefully, documenting every detail. The mirror room was gone, replaced by a hall of locked doors. One door rattled violently, as if something inside was trying to get out. She kept walking. Then she heard the music, that same music box melody, echoing faintly down the corridor. Following the sound, she found a room lined with clocks, all stopped at 3:17. The Crimson Woman stood there, unmoving, eyes closed. A terrible revelation. This time, Isla didn't run. "Who are you?" she asked. The woman opened her eyes. "You knew me once. In another life." Isla blinked. "What are you talking about?" The woman stepped forward. "This house is not just a place. It's a memory, an echo of what happened here." And then Isla remembered. She had been here before. Not as Isla Weaver the photographer, but as Lillian Darren, daughter of the house's final owner. In another life. A life cut short. Flashbacks flooded her mind. An argument, a fire, water rushing in, the house sinking. And above it all, the same melody. The music box. A final lullaby as everything drowned. "This is your punishment," the woman said. "You abandoned us. But the house remembers. It always remembers." The door without return. Isla's camera clicked on its own again. On the screen, a photo of her, crying in the hallway. Behind her, the Crimson Woman. Behind the woman, a figure with no face, watching. She turned to run, but the hallway folded in on itself. The house began to collapse. Doors slammed shut, windows shattered. The water returned, rushing up through the floorboards. Voices screamed from inside the walls. "Don't leave us again." She found a door marked Lillian. It opened on its own. Inside, a child's bedroom. Her childhood bedroom. In the mirror, she saw herself, young, innocent, before the flood. The mirror shimmered, then cracked. The final choice. The Crimson Woman appeared once more. "This house is made of memories," she said. "You can choose to remember or be forgotten." Isla realized what she had to do. She took out her camera and snapped one last photo, not of the house, but of herself, standing in front of the broken mirror. As the flash burst, the house groaned and shattered like glass. Back to the surface. Isla woke on the lake's edge, coughing, soaked, and shivering. The staircase was gone. Her camera broken. But in her pocket was a photo. Her, in the house, smiling sadly at the mirror. Behind her, the Crimson Woman, smiling back. Epilogue. The House Beneath the Lake. Months later, Isla's story was published online. Readers loved it. Some called it fiction. Others believed every word. But no one could explain the photograph she attached at the end. The house. The woman in red. The mirror. The child. Isla moved to a new city. A fresh start. But some nights, she hears water dripping from her ceiling. And in the silence, a faint melody plays. A music box she never owned. And once, just once, she received another email.